Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and today I'd like to talk to you about the importance of knowing the exact balances in your checking and savings account as of the day you filed bankruptcy. And what this came about, I was in bankruptcy court today, and I had a little time. I got there early, I was watching some hearings, and I just thought, let me see what are problems that are popping up in hearing after hearing. And I watched a bunch of hearings with a couple of Chapter 7 trustees, and I started seeing some patterns. And I want to make sure that my clients don't have these problems, and I want to make sure you don't have them either. And one of the issues that was popping up had to do with the balances in a checking account. So for example, if you filed a bankruptcy on, let's just use a date, February 28th or March 31 or April 30th, maybe that's payday. The day you file bankruptcy, perhaps your paycheck hit. Well, your bank account, instead of having $10 in it, maybe has $2,300 in it. You need to know these things. If you've got money in savings and or in checking and you've paid some bills, but the money has not actually been pulled out of your account, the bill hasn't hit, the electronic payment hasn't hit, that money is technically still yours. So if you filed the difference between filing, let's say on March 1 versus March 6th or March 7th, could be thousands of dollars. On March 1, paycheck is still in there in full. Bills you paid on March 1 have not left. It's not the date that you write the check or that you make the electronic notation. It's when the money actually leaves your account. So you may have, again, $3,500, $4,000 on March 1, that's technically still in your account, but by March 6th, that balance may be down to $150. And of course, for bankruptcy purposes, the less money you have in your accounts, the better, because that's less that we have to worry about for exemptions. And this can really be a problem. And exemptions, by the way, are assets that you can shelter or protect in bankruptcy. So if you have, for example, a significant amount of equity in a home or a car, and you don't use that, you can in some cases use the excess, which you don't use for your house, for example, you can apply it to cash. Again, if you use up all your equity, if you have a bunch of equity in your real estate and you use most of it up, you file bankruptcy, you need that extra exemption available for cash. So you want to make sure when you file bankruptcy, the day you file, that the money that is in your account is as low as possible, because nowadays the trustees can ask you for a day-to-day summary of money that was in your checking or your savings account. And so if, again, on March 1 or March 2, your balance shows $6,000, but by March 7th it shows $150, you cannot assume on March 1 that the balance, you cannot write down the balance is $150. The trustee is going to say that's $6,000 or $3,000 or whatever it may be. So you want to really know and work with your attorney to make sure that if you're going to pay bills, you do it well enough in advance of the date of filing so that the money is gone from your account. And that really goes for attorney's fees too. So if you pay your attorney a couple of days, 2 or 3 days before filing, so that the money can be pulled from your account, so that the minute you file, the day you file, you have the lowest possible balance. A lot of times it does not make a difference, but sometimes it does. In a couple of cases I saw today, it made a big difference because the debtor had a significant amount of equity in real estate. That equity was basically all the exemption was being used up. There was nothing left to exempt, yet there was money in the account as of the date of filing. What's going to happen is the trustee is going to demand that debtor repay the bankruptcy estate for non-exempt equity. So even though the money was gone 3 or 4 days later, since it was theirs at the date of filing, as far as the trustee is concerned, that money was owned by the debtor at that point. It's going to cost that debtor, fortunately not my client, but it's going to cost that debtor $3,000 or $4,000 that would not have been a problem had that person waited just a couple of days before filing. So know how much you've got in your account at all times. Before you file, if you're going to pay bills, coordinate with your attorney, make sure those bills are paid early enough in advance so that it's gone from your checking account, and that you know the minute you file your case, that your attorney presses the button, how much you have in your account. It can make a big difference. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube, like it on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and like my Facebook page. I think you'll find a lot of good information there. And I've got a very comprehensive bankruptcy website at atlanta-bankruptcy-attorney.com. I've worked on this for years and years. A lot of information, more than you'd ever want to know about bankruptcy. But any question you've got, will most likely be answered there. Of course, if you want to talk to me about your particular case, about possibly filing bankruptcy, and we'll talk about the pros and the cons, you can reach me at 770-393-4985. 770-393-4985. My name again is Jonathan Ginsberg, and if I can be of assistance to you, I want you to feel free to pick up the phone, call me, or email me. I'd be more than happy to help you any way I can. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan, and I hope you found this video helpful. I'd like to invite you to download my free Debt Destroyer Survival Kit right now. I've packed my survival kit with answers to the questions I've heard from clients for over 25 years here in the Atlanta area. Inside the survival kit, you'll find clear, easy to understand answers to critical topics about how to solve debt problems once and for all, including how do I protect my stuff, my house, car, and personal property if I file for bankruptcy? Are there any legitimate alternatives to bankruptcy? Will I ever get credit again, and if so, when? What mistakes must I avoid to get the most benefit out of bankruptcy? You can claim your copy right now by visiting my atlanta-bankruptcy.com website. And you are always welcome to use the email form on my website to ask me anything about debt and personal bankruptcy in Atlanta. www.atlanta-bankruptcy.com. And as always, I wish you the best.